Capricorn, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. With that being said, ooh, Capricorn, you have some major setbacks, but you have a plan. Sounds like a Capricorn. Setbacks? All right, let's work around it. So here we go. This is you. Obviously, I mean, you don't need to be a tarot card reader to see what this is. This is heartbreak. This is pain. This is, some people say it represents communicable disease, and I don't see that here, so I'm not going to tell you have COVID. But what I do see here is I see some setbacks. Things didn't work out the way you wanted, and you really took it to heart. Okay. So if this is a vocational spread, there was a project, a new client, a new product, a new something that was being pushed forward. And when it didn't turn out the way it wanted, or when you did not get the account, you took it to heart. If this is a personal relationship, then things are not going the way you intended them to go. And you were, what's the word I'm looking for? You were taken by surprise. Okay. You didn't see this coming. Had you saw it coming, you would have planned around it. The only reason it hurts, Capricorn, is because you did not see this coming. You were blindsided. That's what I was looking for. You were blindsided. So now you're feeling like you have all these options in order to work around it, but you have too many options. So there's kind of there's two things going on here. One is stagnation due to indecision, and Capricorns do not like to stand still for very long. They like to make a plan and they like to work a plan. But right now you have too many options and not every option is viable. The other thing is you are kind of stuck in your head and keeping to yourself. And I get that with this card and this card in combination. So you're kind of stuck in your head, you're keeping to yourself, and you're not communicating to people how it is you really feel. Okay? This is causing you anxiety. Okay? Some choices were made, some things that were done, and now you're trying to go back to where these choices are to see if there's something else you can do. At some point when you were blindsided, and at some point when all these choices had to be made, you lost control of your plan. So now you have anxiety because you feel like you don't have control over the outcome anymore. However, just as every Capricorn does, if you're going to spend your nights up, awake, and not sleeping, okay, then you're going to spend that time devising a plan. Because that's what your journey is here. Your journey is the King of Swords. He's like the chess player of the deck. This is the Machiavellian approach. This is an ends to a means, okay? This is somebody putting their heart aside, okay? So your heart hurts, so you're like, screw you, heart. I don't need you right now. I have decisions to be made. I'm up all night trying to figure out how to wrap my head around this situation, okay? And you're strategically trying to figure out what needs to be done to get you back on track or to gain the outcome that you want, because you recognize that if you're not the one making the decisions, then somebody else will be making those decisions for you, even if it's just time, okay? Because what happens is when you have a lot of windows of opportunity, and this is where I say stagnation due to indecision, when you have a lot of windows of opportunity, those windows don't stay open for long. So if you're not the one making judgment calls, if you're not the one saying this goes, this does, that window, those windows of opportunity can close, and now all of a sudden you don't have all these options. So if you don't make a choice, time will make the choice for you. Be careful not to rush into this too fast, because what I'm seeing here is a lack of emotional understanding and a lack of healing, okay? A lack of guidance, combined with the card seize the day, all right? I often joke about this. I call this the player of the deck. And the reason I do that, that's when it happens in love spreads. I don't feel like this is a love spread. I think this is about yourself. I think this is about you not getting your way, you trying to get regroup and have a new plan, but you're trying to rush the process. You're not going through the healing process. You're not really working through your emotions. You're trying to rush just to get your outcome. Okay, so you lost control of something. Now you're frantically trying to maintain control of it. So I talk about this guy as the guy who rides into town with his dick in his hand. So I hope you're not offended by that. But what I mean is, this is the seize the day card. This person comes in and they make a whole bunch of changes really, really fast because they really believe that's the best thing to do. But this person doesn't think about the consequences. This person comes into town, makes the changes, and leaves. And then there's consequences to deal with, and this person doesn't necessarily have to deal with it. So don't pull this person out, because you can't leave yourself. You can't run away from yourself. You might be able to leave this situation behind. And if that's what this means, if you want to come in, get rid of this situation and move on from it, get rid of these people and move on from it, well, that's fine. But if this is to do with yourself and this is something you want to stay in, don't become this guy and make a bunch of swift changes just because you don't want to take the time to heal and deal with your emotions, because at some point it's just going to come back up again. Be careful what you bury, because it might be a seed. If you push these things down, or you make a bunch of changes just in order to satisfy you for the moment, and you don't actually take the time to work through these issues, eventually they'll just sit there, and eventually they'll come back up at all the wrong times. A good example of that is like the stereotypical guy who has a bad day at work and then he comes home and yells at his wife. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to be that guy? So this is a warning. All right? Yes, you had things that didn't work out. Yes, these things were not in your control. Yes, you are making a plan to get them back under control, but take the time it makes to heal, or make the time that it takes to heal. Work through your emotions. Don't just come in and change a bunch of stuff really fast because it's uncomfortable, because then you're just going to be left with a bigger problem further down the line. Capricorn, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I will see you next time.